The Integrity Commission acting unwisely, King's House acting inappropriately, and Governor General Sir Patrick Allen needs to step back. I'm Dion Jackson Miller. Thank you so much for joining me. Time for tea. So I did a video about the delay in appointing directors to the Integrity Commission, and I'd asked if it was the Governor General holding up the appointments. This was because the Integrity Commission had said that they had sent the recommendations for the new directors to King's House months ago. Now the Governor General, the GG, can't block those recommendations. By law, he has to appoint the directors recommended by the Integrity Commission. According to the Constitution, he can ask the Commission once to think again to reconsider the names, but if the Commission sends back the same names, he has to appoint them. So outside of that very limited ability to ask them to reconsider, he doesn't have a say in who the Commission wants to appoint as directors. The Governor General now sent out a statement on this issue, and here it is. King's House said, every measure has been taken to resolve the matter lawfully and expeditiously. The Integrity Commission's recommendations for the positions of Director of Corruption Prosecution and Executive Director, received in June and July 2025, departed from the long-established precedent guiding such appointments. After the Commission refuted efforts to resolve the matter, His Excellency sought a formal opinion from the Attorney General's chambers to ensure that his actions were consistent with law and constitutional propriety. That opinion was shared with the Commission, which has since complied with the administrative precedent. The Governor General will therefore proceed to invite the recommended individuals to take and subscribe to the prescribed oaths of office. So based on this, right, the Governor General is apparently taking issue with the fact that the Integrity Commission changed how they were dealing with King's House in relation to these appointments. By the way, it's the Governor General who gets to appoint the commissioners of the Integrity Commission after consultation with the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition. Then the commissioners recommend who they want as directors, and as I said, the GG has to make the appointments, although he can ask them once to reconsider. So the Integrity Commission has a new chair, retired Justice Carol Lawrence Beswick, and it looks as if under the new chair, the Commission had decided not to follow whatever administrative precedent was there. So the GG apparently wanted this old practice followed. The Integrity Commission wouldn't back down. Instead of going ahead and making the appointments, which he can't block, he goes and gets a legal opinion, which obviously told him that he could insist on this precedent. Having forced the Integrity Commission to follow this administrative precedent, the GG says he's now ready to make the appointments. Appointments he couldn't block. First and foremost, the whole of them need to come out and tell us what is going on here, right? Having gone this far down the wicket, King's House should just have come out and told us what is this administrative precedent that the Integrity Commission wouldn't follow. And if he won't do it, the Integrity Commission should, especially given the tone of the statement from King's House and Sir Patrick's suggestion that he had to force the Integrity Commission to follow this mysterious precedent. The Integrity Commission now needs to explain itself to the public. Now, I've criticized the Integrity Commission before because of how they do things, right? Then go on sometimes like they're book smart and not street smart. Sometimes you have to be smart, you have to be strategic, and come on, what is it for? What is it for, right? Fight the fights that need fighting. Why is the Integrity Commission fighting the GG over what has to be a relatively unimportant administrative procedure? And why am I saying it's relatively unimportant when it hasn't been publicly said what it is? Because it must be relatively unimportant because of what I said earlier. The GG cannot block the appointments. So go ahead, follow precedent, move right along. This was the Integrity Commission wasting time and not being smart, right? I don't know if it's turf them fighting over or whatever, but fight the fights that need fighting. This was not a fight that needed fighting, right? Wanna waste time on foolishness. Keep your eye on the ball, which in this case was the appointments, which the GG can't block. So do whatever administrative thing he wanted you to do and move right along, especially since clearly you used to do it anyway, and see now You've been forced to do it, and now you look bad. Now, King's House going to get this legal opinion also, by the way, to me, sounds like a completely unnecessary and time-wasting storm in a teacup. But hey, it's a King's House teacup, and if you drink tea at King's House, you have to drink it in the proper way, all right? Having said that, though, let me get to what I think is a really problematic part of this statement and why I said the Governor General is acting inappropriately and needs to step back. The final paragraph says His Excellency has also resubmitted his concerns on legislative gaps in the Integrity Commission Act to the Prime Minister for parliamentary review. Now look, when news first broke, that the Governor General had submitted recommendations for amendments to the Integrity Commission Act earlier this year, a lot of us raised our eyebrows, because why is the Governor General making recommendations for legislative amendment, especially in a politically sensitive area? And trust me, anything to do with the Integrity Commission is politically sensitive. This is what the Gleaner reported. In a rare move, now let me stick a pin to say I've actually never ever seen this. But things can happen that you don't know about. So let's stick with rare. In a rare move, Governor General Sir Patrick Allen has submitted formal recommendations to a joint select committee reviewing the Integrity Commission Act, proposing legislative changes aimed at what he says would enhance the efficiency, transparency, and independence of the Integrity Commission. In his June 6, 2025 submission seen by the Sunday Gleaner, Sir Patrick highlighted what he described as ambiguity in leadership authority within the Integrity Commission. He also pointed to concerns over staffing and compensation, and he complained that he wasn't formally notified of the appointment of Ranif Lawrence as Acting Director of Corruption Prosecution. Now just remember, that was an appointment that was very controversial and it was opposed by government members. And the GG was saying he wants the law to be amended to ensure that he's notified of these acting appointments. Look, let's be clear. This office is supposed to be a neutral office, right? Whenever you talk about the office, the head of state, office of the Governor General as a representative of the head of state, this is all you hear. It's supposed to be a neutral office. It's a symbol of national unity, yada, yada, yada. That's supposed to be the whole point. So what is Sir Patrick Allen doing? Wading into controversial waters dealing with the Integrity Commission Act. The same Integrity Commission, by the way, with which he is now in a public spot. Having said that, why is he making recommendations for legislative changes at all? It's not that we don't have laws that need amending, We always have, and we certainly still do. For instance, for years we've had advocacy groups, right, telling us that the law allowed the government to lock up children who had done nothing wrong once the court labeled them uncontrollable. Scores, if not hundreds of children were affected by this, lock up, having done nothing wrong. Gigi never take that on. For years, we've had problems with our Domestic Violence Act, which is inadequate, which has needed amendment for years. Never hear Gigi take that on. We have problems with our environmental laws, which have had loopholes and gaps that affect how we protect our natural resources. Never hear Gigi take that on. But the Governor General, Sir Patrick Allen, has chosen now to make recommendations for legislative amendments to the Integrity Commission Act. This is an extremely important office, right? The Integrity Commission, that is now under constant attack by politicians. Anything to do with the Integrity Commission right now is deeply controversial. The Commission has strong supporters, it has strong detractors. You probably couldn't find a more divisive issue in Jamaica right now than one dealing with the Integrity Commission. Also, this is one in which partisan politicians are deeply involved. And this is what the Governor General decides to take on, making recommendations to change the leadership structure of the Integrity Commission, calling for changes to how acting appointments are made against the background of a highly controversial acting appointment. No. This by the Governor General is completely inappropriate and out of line. He's overstepping, he's going into arenas he has no business in, and he's taking on issues on which he needs to be silent. Look, the office of the Governor General, is one I normally pay absolutely no attention to, and that's exactly how it should be. So personally, I actually never cared much if we replace the office of the Governor General with one of a local head of state, a local president with exactly the same powers. didn't have strong feelings about it one way or the other. Having seen all this unfold, though, my opinion is changing. What is changing to do? That's another video for another day. So what do you think about all of this? Comment below, keep it civil, alright? Like the video, share it with somebody who might be interested, and subscribe to the channel if you are not yet a subscriber. Click the notification bell so you know anytime I drop a new video. I'm Dion. Thank you so much for watching. Back to my tea.